there's a lot of power in words and names.
Of course there is, yeah.
That's the one that I give her, and it's just proven to just be real.
Yeah, man, we're in them, bro. Brother,
Live.
thank you for coming on, bro.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I'd say like one of the most anticipated ones, bro. No lie, bro.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
get to it. Let's unleash.
Let's unleash, bro. So I'll be honest, bro. Like, see with this, there's depth to you, innit? There's depth, so, bro, I'm not a host, innit? I'm the host, so imagine when I'm doing my little research, obviously. I know Wrigz, bro. I know your music, but I think now, this new journey you got, I feel like you might have even opened up a new fan base for this, this side here. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. That's happened naturally, and obviously it's been kind of one of my aims as well.
Yeah.
Kind of heading a new direction.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And a new target audience. It wouldn't, the music that I make now, it's not necessarily for the people who I used to make music for. Some of them will take to it, but in general, I think it's not really for them. So it's like I'm looking for the new.
For a new.
Yeah.
Would you say it's more of a mature audience now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, I've been describing it like a combination of like music and literature. So it's like books and music combined.
Absolutely.
So if you listen to the vocabulary, the choice of words, just the approach, it's not
bro.
your average hip hop rap.
No, it's
street
educational,
culture,
bro.
vocabulary. You get me? It's like a mix between that and the book world.
Nah,
so
you're
like
right.
To say
you're
now
right.
some of my fans will be in flipping Waterstones, reading books,
bro. So that will definitely happen. Sorry to butt in, but you forced me. So when I've listened to some of your music to say, what did they mean by that? So now I'm in the dictionary. I'm following this. I'm following this. So it's important that I know what certain words mean because I want to continue following it accurately. Exactly. I want to know what you're saying.
That's exactly what I want people. Like I've spoken.
You succeeded, man.
Described it exactly like that. That's what I want. I want people to have to. You get me? You might have to have a dictionary. And really pay attention and listen twice or 3 times or
the greats are like that, bro.
Discuss it or even listen with someone and discuss it. Like, what do you think
topics,
that meant?
Yeah. Nah, it's working,
that's
bro.
how I'm trying to design it as well.
It's definitely working. Look at some of the greats hip hop rap artists from back in the day when it was more poetry based. There was more substance. This man I listen to now, and I'm still getting onto new things as I'm growing and I'm maturing, and as my knowledge is growing. I'm like, I didn't know he meant that. I thought he meant this back then. I didn't even know what he meant, but I just liked how he said it, so I was running with it. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
I relate.
So now, it is, man. It's impressive, bro, and it's definitely it's like educational rap.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
It's early days though, so I'm still kind of experimenting and getting used to it and making mistakes and listening back and thinking, I shouldn't have said that, or that's too much. So it's like.
But do you regret it?
It's early. No, not regret, but just like if I was to rewrite, I might have wrote something 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And if I was to rewrite that today, I wouldn't put it like
hear it. I didn't go down this route.
Because I'm at that stage when you're growing quick and you're at the early stages or something, things just change like that.
Yeah. You heard.
I'm at that stage, so it's like it's experimental.
I got a thing with my music, bro, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I overthink things. Once there's a project's out, but I don't go back to it, bro, because I will do that. Even down to a certain word. Why did I just use that word? Because it would have fit a whole lot easier and a lot better. It would have made a lot more sense. And it's just down to one word, bro. But I do it with other artists. I'm listening. I'm thinking, why did you use that word? Do you know what I'm saying? That would have rhymed better.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
Just scrutinizing it.
A lot of that, yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, ice broke. The jar I was telling you about. So I spoke off cam. This is the Bartlett jar, bro. Tell the people. Diary of a CEO. Stephen Bartlett, at the end of his episodes, he has a book. He gets, one of the guests to write a question for the next guest. So I needed something similar. I want to call it a Bartlett jar because it's inspired, so it's nice to give him props. Do you know what I mean? So what we started doing, before someone comes on putting a status up saying we've got this person on, what do you want us to touch on, any questions you want to ask, and then, you know, we had someone on before you, throw a few questions in. So if you want, bro, whip one out, bro, and we'll let the journey take us somewhere, bro.
Got this one. Got this one. Am I supposed to read it? Or you're supposed to read it to me?
I can read it, yeah, I can read it to you. I know you like this one already. We're on his books. You wanted to do this.
Okay,
What books? What books have had the biggest impact on you as a person? And what book are you reading at the moment? So again, that's going to take us down the music route anyway, innit?
What book? 1 second.
See, it's got you on the spot.
What books?
Impactful.
Impactful. How many?
I mean, you could go for it, bro. Because that question there, that a few people have asked similar questions.
Probably like when I first started reading, I read Huey Newton, Revolutionary Suicide.
Okay.
So Huey Newton was one of the founders of the Black Panthers, and that's his book that he wrote, autobiography. That was like, I read that. Like that was at the beginning of my reading journey, because you see, when I left school, I couldn't really read. I had to really teach myself to read slowly. Yeah. So that was like early on in my journey. I read that, and it just shook me up.
Yeah.
Like it just changed. Like I just feel like I was just never the same. After
Okay.
I know it sounds like cliche and everyone says it, but like, yeah, that impacted me differently. Looking back now, I probably only understood about 30-40% of the book. And I could probably only digest about 60% of it, really and truly. But even just that amount, it's like
it's enough.
Yeah, hit me differently. So I have to put that one up there.
Yeah, okay.
From early. Then there's The Way of the Superior Man. When I read that, I was already I'd got into the flow of reading now, so I kind of understood everything that it was saying, and I related to a lot of what it was saying. It changed my perspective on some things, but it reaffirmed other things and made me think I knew. When I was saying that it was right.
That feels good as well. Yeah, that feels good, man.
And then there was other like things that's like, I've never looked at it like that.
To open your mind.
I relate though. I think back and it's like, that. And again, that's another one where that just got me, in a progressive mode for the next few months of my life after that. I just felt like I was just conquering. Everything was going right.
Working.
Yeah, it was literally like 2 months before my sons came back into my life, like 2020.
So
and
like
I feel
training.
like that contributed to it a lot. You get
like training for it, innit?
Yeah, it was like that was like the final straight. I was just in the mindset I needed to be in, and everything just fell into place perfectly. And a lot of it was applying the lessons from that book.
Okay.
So I've got to put that in there. So Revolutionary Suicide, The Way of the Superior Man, Richest Man in Babylon. That, like, my financial game's never really been too on point, so that just made me realize I'm doing everything wrong, basically.
Right, okay.
So it was one of them. It was just clear to me, hit me hard, read it 2-3 times.
But you needed to hear it, innit?
Yeah. Like it changed the game for me. And even applying, I always say it now to people, like, over the last few years, I made a lot less money than I made, say, 7-10 years ago. But the way I used to handle money back then, I used to feel more broke than I am now. I just had like a volatile relationship with money, like up, down, up, down, up. But I was making way more money then than I'm making now.
That down
but
to
I'm
you think?
much more stable now financially than I was then, and that's down to applying again a few of the things that I realised. I'm getting it twisted out here. Like,
do you think it's because then and now you're seeing money as like what you'd spend money on there, what it's used for? Now you're a bit more comfortable with the more simpler things now.
Exactly.
When you're younger, you want money to buy some of the most stupidest things when you look back, really, innit? We want to spend it on daft things. But you think with maturity, as you've got older, you realise money's not everything, is it?
Values change as well, innit?
Exactly.
You get me?
Yeah.
But so I like that book. It fixed me up, sharpened me up, innit?
Okay.
And then one more.
One more, because you know the listeners will be like, right, I was waiting for him to say this. We'll put some links to them books as well.
Trying to give a little bit of balance. Revolutionary suicide waves. And then the mucusless healing system.
Okay.
By a guy called Arnold Ehret. So this book was written in like 1920, and basically, like everything that Dr. Sebi was kind of teaching, this man was teaching. His book was written in 1920.
Yes.
He's just talking about basically removing all the waste out of your body, basically, and you'll heal from every and anything if you can remove it. Sounds simple. Obviously, it's not as simple as it sounds, but that's the basis. That's the general concept. And it breaks it down on many different levels.
What we consume is important, isn't it? Like
100%.
again, but I think a lot of people, when they hear what you consume, I think they automatically look at what they're eating and drinking. But I know yourself, I know you understand it's about what you listen to, it's what you see. It's day to day we consuming. There's many ways of consuming. Do you know what I'm saying? 100%. So, and I know again, bro, through music, like I've never really sat down and spoke to you. I've known you a long time, but like I've listened in it and I know you know. Like,
100%. 100%, but I've only really had that full realization lately. Like I've been saying, like I put so much emphasis on food, say over the last 10 years. And again, if I could go back now and start this health journey again, I'd take a lot of the emphasis off food and place it more on the exercise, the sunlight, the breathing, the controlling stress in your life, your sleep. You get what I'm saying? All of these elements count just as much as the food counts, but I just put all of the, I don't regret it because it benefited me and I feel more healthy now at this age than I did then. Innit? So I'm not complaining, but I know I would have been in much better condition if I'd broke it down and applied. That's
part of learning though, innit? We very rarely get it right.
Just to elaborate on what you're saying though, it's right though, and I couldn't agree more at this point. Like, it's not just about the food, it's everything, what you're listening to, what you're watching,
Music-wise, everything. I find it affects me. Sometimes I'll detox on music and all sorts. I'll go away from my usual, I'm a fan of rap and whatnot. 90% of rap's probably not the best thing to listen to, if we're being honest, but sometimes I think, let me just stare for, sometimes like, because I drive, I just drive in silence to work. There's nothing on. It's a nice view. I go around the country roads and I just, you know what I mean?
Give yourself a break from it all, innit?
But yeah, it is, you're right, bro.
Listen to something soft, innit?
Yeah, man.
Change it
and
up
as well, with the music as well, like if we're talking about music, like I've spoke to a lot of artists, a lot of rappers listen to rap. I'm all round, I feel like, you know, to be a great artist, if you're a rap artist, it don't mean you can't listen to a bit of something, a bit of rock and roll, a bit of soul, a bit of this. It makes for a more...
Definitely, helps you, man.
If you listen to some great musicians, but a lot of rappers, you can hear the samples and that. And
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Let me get one more out of this, Jaron, and I know where I want to go with it, innit? Because I know why they want to, what they want to hear, man. Someone might spark the conversation now, and we'll get into it. Okay, we got here, bro. It's a good question, man. Asante the healer. What is the meaning behind the name, brother? And the rest of your young ones, it's like you've got little names for them all.
Yeah, my name for her just was, that's what I feel like she did to me and to her mum to an extent. She just came into the picture and just started healing. And I kind of just knew she would, and I wanted her to. Not like to sound selfish, like that's the reason why I had her, so she could heal me. Like, not like that, but that's what I wanted. Like, if I was to like attribute one purpose to her, I'd want her to just be a healer, to be able to heal herself, to be able to heal me, her mum, her brothers, just people, her loved ones, just have that kind of spirit and vibe. And I just believe there's a lot of power in words and names.
Of course there is, yeah.
that's the one that I give her, and it's just proven to just be real, because she's just been out here just healing.
And you let her know
People
that.
say it as well, like she just, like you might be in a bad mood and she'll just come around you and her spirit just lift you up. And she's very rarely in like a downbeat, negative vibe. She's always.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that was the meaning behind her name. Kai Mani the Great, I call him. I just feel like he just gave me that vibe where he's simple. He's just seems to just be great all around in every moment, and just has the same effect on everyone. Like,
yeah.
You just think there's something about him.
You can see it.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Something about him. And then Elijah, I call him Elijah the Genius. Like I always just say, like he just knows everything everyone else doesn't know.
Okay.
He might not know everything everyone else knows. Imagine that, like, just as a concept, like there's someone that like everyone else might know this, that, and the other, and they can do it, and he might not be able to do that, innit? But everything everyone else doesn't know, he knows that.
He's got that uniqueness about him.
Yeah. Like, and I just think that's what geniuses are like, innit? Like, they might not be better than anyone else, but it's just something they know that everyone else don't seem to know. You get me? So that's what I think he's like. He's just a bit different.
And you like how you are as a father. I know you let them know that, innit? You just still listen to them, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like you let them know, and like you say words, bro. So you're putting this in here from so young, letting them know, like, bro. I've seen some videos. I sent been on stuff I don't know, bro. Like parts of the world, and I'm like, I don't even know that.
That's what that country thing. Yeah. That's
it's impressive, bro.
Saying. That's what everyone's
but
saying.
it's good because.
But you see, even that, I even put that in like the healing bracket. Like she healed me of a lot of my ignorance, so I didn't know where most of them countries. I grew up. I when I was younger, I grew up playing football. Until I'm 15, 16, my whole life and identity and everything I knew and believed in was about football. So I knew all the flags of the countries. So I've always been sharp, but if you gave me the map and said, where are they, I'd be
Where
lost.
did they go? You didn't know,
So I had to learn that to teach her.
Yeah.
And I learned 50, 60% of them countries. I learned that with her. At the same time. So then I just put that under the bracket of like, she's healing me of my ignorance.
Yeah, because you've literally gone, you think, I need to learn this to teach as a father because it's important.
Exactly.
So that in turn,
we open this book and it's all about countries, and then she's going to say, what's that one? And I don't know.
Now you need to know.
Yeah, so now I've got
to... That's nice, bro.
To get what I'm saying. So
It's hard. So that takes us back to like, I know you're big on the homeschooling side of things. Like, I've always believed, for me, I think school, I've never thought like there's pros and cons to it. Obviously, there's the social side of it. You know, you go in there, working, you know, it's nice, isn't it? But then there's a lot what they teach you in school. Is it beneficial as you go, you know, as you get into your adult life? Why do you homeschool? Is it for them reasons? Or is it more for a protective side?
I think, it's a bit of that. It's a bit of both. So I just think there is the protective side. It's like, I think at the early stages of a child's life, it's important for you to know what's going on and for them to know what's going on. So even just on a basic level, I'm not speaking judgmentally, I just don't like the idea of strangers having early impressions on my children. So I'm more open to school in a later stage in your life. I believe them first 7 years are really important.
They're impressionable as well, aren't they? Very impressive, like a sponge children.
So I want to have as much say and input in those years of their life as possible. Because I know that's shaping. It's like shaping their lens, and they're gonna see everything through that lens. They're gonna attract everything through that lens. So I just think that's important. And then that takes me to school. I just think the order of what's important, it's all over the place in school. So it's like,
I agree.
I'd just like the more important things to be taught.
They
much
should be
more,
first.
do you understand what I'm
Whilst
saying?
you're most, again, because as you go through the school system, as you get older, that's when your attention span starts. So let's get this bit out of the way now whilst you're most engaging.
Yes.
And you're the sponge and you're going to soak it all up.
Yes.
So I agree. And I also think, bro, you know, in school, so you got a class full of 10, 15 children, people,
Yeah.
one teacher. Everyone's different, everyone learns different.
Exactly.
That one-on-one is going to be a lot more effective than someone stood at the front of a class thinking they're all taking it in the same.
Agreed. There's that element as well. Divided attention, isn't it?
It's important.
Instead of undivided attention.
Because that's all it is,
totally different. It's totally different.
Because now you're paying them to the
you say, there's pros and cons though.
Yeah,
so it's
course.
not for me to be like bashing school and whatnot, but I just think there's some of the basics, like just learning understanding our bodies and how they function and how that contributes to your everyday life.
Yeah, it's very important.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, and working on that as well, understanding the importance of like your health and the part that health is going to play in your life over
Massive
50
role.
years, 60 years. So then it's like, if you went to school and you watched a year of school or a 5-year period of school, they don't place much importance on the health. All different aspects of health, your mental health, your physical health, all the different aspects of health.
Right.
There's not much emphasis placed on it in school. So to me, it's just like, it's just like fundamentals first. Make sure the fundamentals are sound and sorted. Then we can go on to some of the less important, tricky, showy up type things. It's not like everyone just trying to get an A star or behave. Or it's like, nah, life ain't like that. That ain't gonna train you. That ain't gonna build you for life itself. It's
You're
not
right.
Or a class where an emotional intelligence class. So when we end up in all kind of tricky relationships or tricky family situations, breakdowns, we're slightly equipped enough to deal with it. We've got a bit of intelligence under emotional pressure. So it's like, there's just none of this. It just all seems...
I think, like you say as well, you could be the brightest in the class, get all A's, have the potential to, change the world. But then if you ain't got your health on top form, your mental can ruin all of that because you can't deal with it. What you're consuming, poor health, you're not going to perform how you should do.
Exactly.
You could be the best baller, but if you ain't training, you're going to fall behind.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So again, it comes to health is wealth, bro. It's very, very important. So
That's
I agree with what you're saying.
I love my children to go to a school where the importance of that is stressed. Need healthy children, turn into healthy.
No, but it's mad, innit? Because a lot of people don't see it like that. And like you say, not to bash schools, bro, because each to their own. And a lot of people, they've not got to that yet. They will get to that, a lot of people, and they'll open their eyes. Yeah, but again, like, there is pros and cons to schools. Like you say, it's like the community side. Like, we go youth centres outside of school to mingle with friends and make new relationships. And that's important, innit? That social side of it. But then that's
definitely, and you've just got the structure. You've got to respect the structure. Like, people have got bills to pay and mortgages to pay and lives to live and whatnot. So it's like, it's all good saying like homeschooling, but it's like, where's the money gonna come from? And it's like, there's a system in place and it's tricky, and there's not no easy way around it. So there's some people that would probably, if in an ideal world, they would homeschool, but they've got to go work.
Yeah,
and how do you change that? They're gonna uproot their whole life to start this new structure.
They're almost stuck to do it that way. There's no way around it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people, it might be 50% of the people that send their kids to school, really they'd homeschool in an ideal world.
Agree with what
and only
saying,
25% of them are humble enough to admit it. The other ones would be like, yeah, it's all good saying that, but they sound like they're against it, but they're not really, they're just frustrated. Yeah. So there's a lot of aspects, like, there's a lot. And it's hard, it's tricky, and it ain't. Sometimes I wonder, has it even been the right decision to try and pursue this in my life? Because it's caused me bare problems, and it's not just simple. And
no, I can imagine it's not. Once you go down that route, you make it hard now if you wanted to flip it, and then
the same applies to like what we say. It's like you uproot your whole. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I respect both sides, but I'm heavy on the education and the structure of the education. Fundamentals first. Like,
yeah, it makes sense, bro. And with what you said about, like, you touched on, like, the relationships and, in a nutshell, getting your heart broke. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, we've all had it, well, we ain't all, but it's not nice.
It's not.
It's horrible.
The dynamic, like, it's mad. It's mad. Think how many different things that's caused, that's made man go and do all kind of madness they'd never
lost the life for it, you know, lost the freedom because, like, bro, the heart, it's mad. You can,
and that little bit of emotional intelligence could help them. It
yeah,
might
of
not.
course.
Some
To know how to deal with it.
Some people might have that emotional intelligence and still it sends them under. It's not like some magic code where if you've got it, you'll be cool, but it gives you a better chance if you've got a little bit of an underandstanding of what emotions are.
If you don't know it and then it hits you,
exactly,
it can ruin a man. Woman, it's not nice, bro. Like it's funny. Nice. We're laughing now, but you know,
it's not.
Like,
it's not
nice,
man.
It's because I think as well with that, like, you've experienced it. Do you know what I'm saying? You've experienced it firsthand, bro. 100%. And that's, I think, that experience really shaped. For me, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but watching you over the last 5 years to do, you know, with your two boys and the emotional side of where it's gone wrong, and this shaped who you are now, has it not?
Definitely.
It's kind of rerouted, isn't it?
I had to learn myself and educate myself about emotional intelligence, and if I didn't, I definitely would have gone under, and nothing positive wouldn't have come out of this. And that wouldn't be nothing new. That's happened a million times to fathers who've been through this situation and they didn't respond in a certain way, and
they've just seen red.
That it was over.
It's not it.
Then, like, whether it be quick over or over time, they just fell off, and it's
a long-term battle, isn't it? It's a journey. Once you get on this is going to be a long, drawn-out fight. You need to be equipped for it. Start on the front foot. Don't start, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think as well.
Yeah, it did shape me, but the just learning how to cope with your feelings, just learning how to interpret your feelings and separate it. Life isn't all about feelings. So it's like you might feel something, but you've still got to act against that feeling. You can't just follow your feelings.
Because it'll follow you down.
As a man,
it'll follow you a bad route
your
sometimes.
Feelings so much. So, but it did. Going through that much pain to do with the boys and my family and whatnot, it really did shape a brand new person. Like, as I call it, a puberty-like transition. That's where it is.
Okay.
But in adulthood, because you'll find with a big percentage of adults that don't change. Once we get to adulthood, we don't change. We find it hard to make drastic changes. That's why if a man's got problems with gambling, with alcohol, with whatever problems we face, it's like you'll be looking from the outside, like, what's wrong with my man? Why can't he just change? He needs to stop going on. And it's the adults are fixed in their ways. They don't know how to make fundamental changes.
That's
it's possible, but it's very rare.
That's like when you say going back to school to instill this now instead of trying to change it later and put it in them. Because you're young adults late on in school. Do you know what I'm saying? And in college and that. So you need to get that in from early. And you see in your emotions, bro, they can.
The year 11s can understand that.
Of course, exactly.
Year 11s can really understand that.
You've been there. You've been in school. We've all been in school, and we know how we felt then and how our minds ticked over it. You feel like an adult. But that emotion side, bro, it can have you acting, if you let it, acting out of character, can trick you out your position. You know, it's a dangerous, when you don't know your emotions, when you let your emotions take control, it's just a dangerous battle, innit? It's scary.
And it's making you ill as well. Because your body's having to deal with them emotions on repeat over and over again. And it's like shock to the system, shock to the system, shock to the system, shock to your glands, shock to your glands. And eventually they'll slow up, and your body will slow up with it. And it might be your tolerance will go with it. You start snapping more than you want to. And we only understand like depression and schizophrenia. We don't understand that these things can build up. From young, from a man's been feeling a certain amount of emotion and repeating it on repeat. His body can't take that over
then it just
and
make
over
an
again.
Appearance.
It's like, listen, you got to learn how to process these emotions, man. And there's many different ways. There's many different ways.
Stress is a killer, man. Like I say, but you could be in great health, so you think, but when you're going through that stuff, not knowing how to deal with emotions, you just this is so much building, and it comes to the surface.
You alive, eating you alive.
Literally,
no one can see it until it starts affecting you to a certain extent. No one can't see it. And it's just like we go back it's just learning to deal with them emotions can make so much difference. It sounds simple or it sounds petty, but when you're going through it, it's serious.
Discipline.
Man.
You need to be
Serious.
very, very disciplined in it and get a hold of them. Like,
definitely.
I think as well, like see a lot of these questions, bro. I've seen them. Like, there's a lot of these questions now that to do with what we're talking about. Like the listeners, like you say, your core fan base now, they want to know that's like how it started from the two young boys.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this emotional side of it, how you dealt with it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, you've just kind of touched on it, but if you want to do you want to take it back to where it started? Because people want to know, bro, innit?
So, really, what was it? It was about 2017. See, it's been so long and there's so much drama happening here. I can't even. So, say it was about 2017. I think this happened in. So I've got the two boys. I'm in the relationship with their mum. It's not the greatest relationship. It's not no flipping life or death, exciting touch. There's nothing major going on, but it ain't the healthiest relationship. And probably looking back now, 80% of that was probably on me, and 20% was on her, roughly speaking. So over time, and that's where the old music lifestyle comes into it, because a lot of that contributes to why I was the way I was, and the relationship was the way it was also. But obviously we can go into that another time, to try and cut a long story short. So yeah, that was just contributing to this little toxic vibes, and then obviously she just had enough at a certain point. And then I'm not taking it serious. I'm so used to this little daft toxic dynamic I've got with women. I've been doing it for years at this point. It kind of just, unfortunately, that's just
how it goes.
That's how I am, bro. So
again,
I'm just thinking this is just another one of them. Yeah, this is just happening. And then when I started to realise that, nah, it's not, it started to get a bit serious. And that was probably when I'd not seen the boys for about 6 weeks. So my head started to fall off. Like it's getting real, and now I'm starting to realise it's getting real. After about 2 months now, I'd kind of accepted, like she's really gonna do this, and that's serious. Where I made my long-term plan and approach and dedication and and then I wrote the letter to my son's tune and just started taking the approach of like all communication had been locked off. I've got nowhere to express this, can't get hold of them, can't do. So I just decided, at this point, I'd already been doing music for years. A big percentage of my music was expressing emotions and expressing things that other man might not say or do. I've always been a bit like that anyway, but now it was like, I'm gonna need to use that to a more extreme to just stay sane, to express these feelings, because if I don't get them out of me, I don't know I can't tell you what's gonna happen next, I don't know. So that's how it started, and that tune was the first one where it was like, I'm gonna just reveal it all, this is my thing, I'm gonna build a catalogue that worst comes to worst, if this turns into a long-term situation, my kids are gonna hear my sing and get to feel how I feel.
So they can follow the journey.
Exactly. And I'm gonna get to continue my career in that capacity. That weren't of any importance, but it's just a little perk that came with it.
That's how you deal with
so
it.
That's where it started. I wrote that tune, and then I just I just got the feeling, even just the response of people, how many people was like going through the same thing or been raised up in a similar dynamic. Like, it's mad to me. Like, it was mad. So that just like continued the inspiration, opened up, like it was mad. And then I just knew that's it. I'm doing this. And then it was like 2018. I'd done 10 mixtapes. Most of it were all in 1 year. I had to write it all, go to Liverpool, record it all, put every penny that I had, bro, into just doing that, knowing that no money ain't coming back, knowing I'm not in any type of position in the industry, business-wise. I'm not making no product that's gonna be ready-made for I know nothing ain't coming back of this major, but I also know there's a small pocket of people that this is affecting majorly though. But it's a small pocket now, so and you can't make a lot of money really from it. So it was like it was a that year was a big investment, but on 10 mixtapes going crazy, but I always had it fresh on my chest. I was like,
ready, just hungry. A bigger
put the
purpose,
studio,
bro.
get down there. Yeah, it's like
The bigger purpose now from before. You know, you have writer's blocks and you lose your way a bit with music. I think now at that point was like, yo, there's a real reason now.
Yeah, like I was going mad. I would when I look back now, I was blacked out. Like I weren't really registering anything that was going on outside of me doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
so you just tunnel vision. This where we're
real
going.
Though, like tunnel vision. I didn't know it was happening at the time, but looking back now, I can see real life tunnel vision in it.
But you read some of your greatest music.
Definitely, and then it just set me off on give me a new kind of base and platform. Like, and
this is where I'm going with it. I am. This is the music. This is my purpose in music.
And then that's it. And then it started to change. It became less aggressive and less like based on blaming people and and it started to become more reflective. Like I'm realizing that, oh, I did that wrong. Oh, I never looked at that like that. Oh, she was putting up with that for all that time. I was so busy trying to succeed and be Wrigz and I didn't even notice I was making it feel like and then I started to see it a bit more balanced in it. And I was expressing this through the music. So you start to hear me start to kind of blame myself a bit more in it.
But it's nice that you was honest within it as well. No finger pointing. I'm understanding why it went how it went and
as well, it's good for my kids to see, because I'm not just trying to create a picture that makes their people look bad or whatever. I'm just trying to show my truth, like my truth.
They're going to want to know, they're going to want to hear, they're going to want to know, they're going to ask questions.
Exactly. And the truth's got to be wholesome. If it's ever just one-sided, a person just telling you how great they are, how great
it's not right. There's something right.
You don't hear the opposite. It's no balance. It's dodgy that. Yeah.
Of course it is.
So I want my sons to hear how wrong I was as well, because I don't want them to ever think that there's anything that justifies this or makes it. Do you get what I'm saying? But I want them to understand how it happens and how they could end up in a similar
Yeah, they learn a lot from it. Because that's for them, bro. They're the biggest fan of that music there.
If I be honest, they're going to learn.
Of course
if I just give it the big one and try and act like I've done nothing wrong, they're going to not.
But they're going to go through that with a fine-tooth comb, bro. As they grow older, they'll always revert back to that music. So naturally, it was very important for you to... You had to do it like that, bro, because it'll shape a lot, it'll shape them going forward. I imagine like there will be a lot they take from it, bro, into their adult life and relationships and whatnot. So there'd be no point saying that he was bang on with everything he did and pointing the finger. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you did that very well, bro, and you still, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking to continue it. But on the flip side, though, it was kind of too impactful. The kind of music I made, the stance I took, the kind of way I developed myself to where when I got back with them and it all settled down, it was too much for their people. And it forced it to kind of start happening again. But this time I can hold my hands up and say, not much of this is my fault at all this time. Last time I say, a big percentage of it is my fault. Don't justify it though. Like if it was a jail sentence, it's like you've given me 25 years for robbing some sweets. It's like, you're tripping, but I did rob the sweets though.
Okay.
But it's too much. That might be an extreme example, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I don't ever want to say it, even just for other people like watching, I don't ever want it to be like, this should never be the answer. If you're a father in a family and you built from a family from scratch, unless it's like a life or death situation, I don't think it should ever be the answer, the punishment for fathers that never. So that's why I keep going back to that, like, don't justify it though. But I would want my sons to know the first time round, I contributed to the condition more than your mum. But this time round, I could feel a lot better about myself because I know I didn't really contribute to it kind of reoccurring in its new sense, innit?
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's nice that you put that out there like that, bro. With you trying, to get them back, because a lot of people will watch. You know what? Everyone's different. View things different. Some people did probably just say, well, why not just take it to court, old-fashioned if you like. Is there a reason why you didn't go down them channels and you've sort of took the battle on yourself? Because it's a big battle to take, bro, single-handedly. Is that down to beliefs? Like, what do you think that is?
It all ties in. It ties in with what we was talking about with homeschooling.
Yeah, I know this. I can see why. I know why, and I can see why. Listening to it, all you have to do is listen to a few bit of your music, bro, and everything just pieces itself together.
Yeah.
But like, could be a new listener, could be a new watcher, interested. Do you know what I mean? Will we say go and listen to the music?
See what's mad? I feel like we could do a whole hour podcast here on why no court.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Get deep, yeah,
it goes deep.
It
Rabbit
could get
hole
deep.
stuff.
So it's like it's about some deep beliefs, and it's about some just minor beliefs. It's about the approach that I'm taking and me believing in it so much that I'm going to stick to my approach.
Is it again what you want to instill in your kids?
It's just what I think's best.
Yeah,
I might be saying that from a place of a lot of ignorance because I've not really delved into court cases to look at exactly how it goes, and I've just heard this kind of stigma like they treat dads like this, or it's unfair, or it's so. A lot of what I'm saying is coming from that place as well. So that's a place of ignorance, really. I'd need to look into it myself, but it's sincerely. I'm taking the approach which I think is sincerely best for me and my children and my lineage. And I like to see it like as well psychologically. I'm still in control. Everyone's got their own. It's like me. Yeah, it's a symbol of my control. I'm still in control.
I think if you went down that route now, you'd feel like you've just forfeited, kind of thing. Like it's like we're in this battle now. You've started this journey, not battle, this journey to try and get them back the way.
Yeah,
you
I just
believe.
think it would be like in metaphorically, it would be like in boxing. They say whoever gets to fight their fight's gonna win the fight. So it would just take me out of it would just be another sign that they've got me by the balls.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I know my stance in society. I know my history. I ain't done anything that I'm ashamed of where it's like they could say this to the judge. I ain't done any of that. But the way I live my life, the judge and the system ain't got no time for a man like me. They can't wait to do me dirty. I know that I've not got much. Like, if they just meet me as a person, they will feel my reasonable spirit, peace. And I'll say, everybody should know me as like, that's just what I'm like with all people. But outside of that, like my position in society, the way I live, my beliefs, my image, the story.
And that's all they're going to see.
Bro, they think I'm daft, and then they get new terms. Because I don't want to just see my kids. I need to have control, influence, input, say them three things all the time.
I fully understand that, bro.
But going to courts like just to get custody to see them, this is a bigger, even if I see them and I haven't got enough control and influence, we're still at it. We're at it until I get my rightful control and influence and everything that a father deserves to rightfully have, in my opinion. Then we're going to be at it in one way or another. And one thing they can't take from me is the name, Wrigley. They can't take that from me. They can't, there's no court that will support them. So there's still Kaimani Wrigley, Elijah Wrigley, Asante Wrigley, Daniel Wrigley. So this is still my tribe that I'm responsible for. They're entitled to their narrative. They say, you haven't seen them for this, no, whatever they want to say, cool. That's your narrative. Mine is I'm in full control of the Wrigley tribe like I need to be. This is a marathon. It's not looking great. It's treacherous for the Wrigley tribe right now. It's horrible. It's horrible. But this is the part of our marathon that we've got to survive this part. And I'm in control of that. Look, they've got my name, and my name means something to me now. So I say in one of my lyrics about Kai that I put more emphasis on you because you're the next in line, the second generation of the new edition. Like, so I'm the first generation of the new edition. Now I'd have to go into how I was raised and where I come from to make sense of this fully. So I've got my mum's second name, Wrigley's. That's the white side of my family from Reddish. Then I've got my dad's names, it's Coppins. That's the black side of my family from Rusholme. So although I've always identified more with my dad and the black side of my family, my name has always been Wrigz. Everybody in both cultures know me as Wrigz, same. That comes from my mum's side. So to try and get some kind of identity out of this has been very confusing for me. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's no other black Wrigleys. It's a whole white family and everywhere. There's not one other black Wrigley. So I'm the first one. So the name's in my hands now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So I've never been ashamed of the name, and I've always rated my people. I love my people, my mum's, Wrigley's. I always took pride in my name, or I wouldn't have carried it in football, in music. So, but I've never took like pride in it. Like, this is my name. That usually comes from, you get your dad's name.
Yeah.
He had his dad's name. He had his
Yeah,
dad's
it's one of
name.
them.
His dad taught his
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
his dad,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
It's
you
usually
take
what
pride
you're
in
used to with it.
That's usually where. So I've never took like deep pride in it like that. But now I plan going forward to take deep pride in it. And it starts with me. I'm the first
starts with
edition.
you,
I'm
yeah.
the new one.
So
I'm
you
the
need
first
to.
black one. I was born in Stepping Hill Hospital. So all my kids are born in St. Mary's Hospital because they're the new edition. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
On bare different levels.
You need
and
to set a
angles
bar
because-
now. It starts with you, like you say. There's
exactly.
a bar you need
and
to
I've
set.
got to teach my kids that a lot of what you're doing is for me as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And then a lot of what your kids are doing, that's
So
for
it's gonna
you.
go- yeah, it's
and
gonna
we
go
keep
forward.
it going on.
Yeah,
and we've
we
got
need
an
to.
identity
No,
and
exactly.
an ideology. And we come from a certain culture and we've got a story to tell. And we're somebody, you're not just nobody who's been raised with no knowledge, in the dark, you don't know nothing, you don't even know your family properly. You put on this vibe when you see your family, "Hi, you all right?" Like you're a nobody out here in the big world. When it gets spicy, you're gonna crumble, definitely. So I've been in before, innit? So now I'm trying to start afresh, like we're gonna do this properly, and I know I'm gonna have to suffer for this, because I'm trying to change. I'm trying to change the game. Innit? They say generational curse. I don't even want to diss my people like that, but I'm trying to take us to a new place in it. So I'm still in control of the Wrigley's, and we don't go court. You might go court, but we don't go court. But I'm not dissing people that go court. There's bare days, there's bare days I just want to surrender and just go court. Someone save me and make all of this just stop, bro. Because I clearly don't have the power right now. I don't have the power right now to just make it stop. And I know my eldest son, I see that he looks, why haven't you got the power? I've seen it in his face. You're supposed to be able to make this stop. That is true, but I ain't got that power right now, but I'm building it. So I've got to suffer first. And I can't just check out, go court. And all the people that give me the advice, they don't think anyway. They just follow trends. When they speak, they're not speaking from a place of thought. They're just saying what they're trained to say. They've not asked me, they didn't ask all the dynamics of my situation and then say, go to court.
If you go court now, bro, you know it'll be that they forfeited.
Bro, we ain't going
That's
court.
where it would be, innit?
We ain't going
Because they've
court
seen,
anyway.
now you have set a bar, bro.
Yeah,
You've set like
you
it's
think
a...
I've flipping weathered and endured all this pain to just think
Yeah,
to
to just
fold.
crumple
We're
now
not
that you
folding, man.
can't.
They know anyway.
People know as well when they watch it, they respect it. It's like, there's a tribe, aside from the Wrigley tribe, bro, there's a tribe with you in it.
Exactly, yeah.
You've
I
got
can
your followers
imagine.
and your
I can
fans and
imagine.
people rooting for you, bro.
And even if it's just someone that doesn't know me but they're living life
Rooting
like
for
me,
you, bro.
that's my tribe.
Me,
even if
tears
it's not
over
me,
there, bro.
Now, all of that 100%, I respect that. But
Everyone
just anybody living their life in a certain way, even if they don't know me, they're in this as well.
Yeah, man, of course.
They're up against the same thing. But again, there's no. I used to get so biased and like try and demonize everything. Like, if you go court, you're this. If you put your kids in school, you're this. If you eat meat, you're that. I used to think. Right, that's how I used to think, bro. Now I don't think like that at all. So I respect the courts. I respect the courts and I respect people that go court. Win, lose or draw. You probably have to pay a fortune or something. You got to have your shit together to do all that. So I fully respect it. Now I'm not looking at it like this is a better path. I'm bigger than you, but I know I'm taking this path, and that's it. And there's no folding and there's no compromise, and that's it. And that's how it's gonna go. And one day my sons are gonna see it and think, yeah, my dad weren't playing about this.
Exactly.
And that's all I know.
They are gonna, bro. This here will be talked about and in their memory forever. And they'll pass that and talk about that with feeling good. You know, feeling good, bro. Proud. Of course they will. The way you've documented it, like you say, it's been strategic, very strategic. Do you know what I mean?
hope so, bro. And I'm not finished.
There you go.
So the main documentation's gonna happen next. The main one that's gonna last forever. That's gonna happen next.
That's in
and
the
there's had to be a
workings.
lot of training. Because like I'm gonna do stuff that I didn't have the ability to do. Like writing little books and rare. Like the training process I've had to go through from not being able to read. Not like can't read at all, but I mean if you give me a book, I can't take the information out of that and digest it. I won't understand most of the words. I have to keep going back over the page. I don't like I called it like very mildly illiterate. Like literally there's no point in me no book. But not where like I can't read the words and
yeah, but you're not reading it how it's been delivered to you. You're not taking from it what you meant to.
And the more I learned to read, the more I realized how much I actually couldn't read. It was like shit. Do you get what I'm saying? So that then there's being able to read and then there's actually attempting. I remember about a year ago attempting to write the book, all these concepts and notes and all. Bro, I started and it was the most belittling feeling I've ever felt in my life. I was like, you can't write no book, bro. This is a joke. Right, so it was like that, back to the lab and back to trade it up and keep going. Like, you get me? So, yeah, this is where the main documentation is going to take place next, in the next phase. And that's it. And then they're getting older soon, and the older they get, the more real life gets. Then you have to face life head on. So the type of people that shy behind like non-truths and them people fold in adulthood. They fold. So when it's time to answer questions, when a child's thinking for himself and it's time to answer questions, and that's different to when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can kind of just tell them, even 9, 10, 11, 12, once they get to like 13, 14, I'm thinking, really start thinking now you need to be someone. Now you need to be someone, you better be ready. Because there's a lot to explain. You get me? But yeah, that's how it started and that's where it went. If we stayed on track at all. You get me?
Now we did, it's nice because what I like, the way you've just delivered that, bro, it was like an episode, because where like you've got that there's something else coming. So obviously like, there's more to it, innit? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? People have followed this now, watch this, and they're gonna be like, what's coming? Do you know what I mean? So for that one, leave that there, innit? Yeah. Because I want to bring you back. I'm not gonna dead the podcast now. We're gonna go in the jar, but leave that there, and then man, part 2 of the saga continues, if you like. Is that what they say?
The saga continues. I'm not trying.
Okay. It's a good one. A friend of mine actually asked this one. So, what was the ultimate moment that brought you to your higher calling, brought your higher calling into existence? What was your ultimate moment that brought this higher calling into existence, bro?
That's a good question. I don't even know the answer to that.
He caught you off guard, yeah? the jar's good, isn't it? It puts you in a, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When really, man? I'd say there's like different points, like when, like there's a level, the level, there's a certain, the highest level I've reached came from my daughter being born. Like something happened that was like deep, amazing, like. But there was when I started to grow my hair and stopped eating meat and started to read. That's probably the main. That was it. That phase, which would have been like when I'm like 30. That would be like 7 years ago now.
Okay. 7. So how old are you now, bro?
Yeah, so I'm 37. So this would have been like 30. When I started to grow my hair, I stopped eating meat. Started to read I started to read properly. And then everything just started changing. Like, the things that my wants and needs started to change. The things I felt like I needed started to change. The things I wanted started to change. Everything started to change. Like, so that was probably the biggest, the most extreme point of elevation was probably
the reading.
Then the reading.
The books, bro. They say books are powerful, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's like I couldn't stress it enough. It's crazy.
Books. I like
people. Trust me. It's hard in this This is the hardest generation ever. Hardest era ever to actually read. Because we've got this social media, the speed of it's like this. So if things aren't going like that, it tends to feel boring to us. You get what I mean? And you might be reading a page, read another page, and then look at your phone. You don't come back to the book for 37 minutes. It's like you didn't even mean to look at that. Like
it's a distraction.
Look at
it sucks you in. It's like a drug, bro. And I'm guilty of it. I've said it before. Like but I'm aware of it. I'm aware of like how I am with it, and because I've got the lab and that. I'm in there constantly check what can we do, can we get on. I know it's not good, so I try to, and my missus like, put your phone down, lock it off before bed, not in bed, put it away, put it in another room, stuff like that. books. I like to say I'm a reader, but I'm not. I'm lying to myself. I've got loads of them, but I never read them.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I read pages,
it's hard, man. It's hard,
and then I
isn't
lose interest, or it'll take me a long time to read a book. But I like the thought of getting to that point where I'm a bookworm, if you like.
Yeah.
And staying away from the TV and the phone. I know I'll get there because I've been thinking like this for a while.
Beast, bro. Trust me. You'll see, it'll be up there with one of the best things you've ever done for yourself. Literally, like opens up everything just looks different. Everything becomes detailed, and then you realize that it's the detailed world that's running the world. We're out here in the vague world, like everything's just basic, like ABC, like diet, like fats, proteins, and carbs. Like I get them. It's like, bro, they're the macro. That's the big world. What about the micro, the small versions, all the million little intricacies? Like these contribute more than them.
Yeah.
But like you're not even interested in them. You're not even started to think about that. Or people like, yeah, man, Dr. Sebi, sea moss, like it's got our body's got 100 minerals, and like it's like, do you even know what a mineral does? Just a mineral. Never mind the different 100. You just said that there's 98 out of 100. That sounds like you know of 98 different minerals. Do you even know what a mineral's purpose is? Just it's like people are tripping. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the reading takes you out of that mindset and realizing, right, everything's got more detail. You don't have to be no specialist on the topic to speak. But you just respect that everything's comprised of a lot of different details. So if I want to do anything out here, I need to understand the finer details and not the basics. It takes us back to school. School trains you up to understand the basics. I need to know every little finer detail that makes up them basics. So if you go into business, imagine you feel like I need to understand every single aspect of this business before I make my move, as opposed to, yeah, man, I get it. It's light work. And then 90% of the people we know, they hit the same brick walls and the same ceilings all the time. It's like, because we're not educated enough, man. That was me in music. So I look back at myself in hindsight now in music. I didn't know what I was doing. I used to talk about, independent record label. I didn't know nothing about no independent or record label. And I noticed I used to stay out of the rooms where I know I'm going to get asked the finer details of these things. Because you know why? Because I know I ain't got the answers. And I'm presenting myself in a way, indirectly, like I have got the answers. So I know I won't put no expectations on myself musically again until I learn this business to a respectable level. So that's, I look at everything like that. So now I'm making my music, working on the art side of my music, but I've got no business or industry or career expectations yet at this point, because I know I don't understand how them things work, bro. It's all a mystery to me. I look forward to learning. Now I've learned about things that are much more difficult to learn than that. So it's going to be like ABCs, nothing for me to learn this back to front.
I think with that as well, it seems long for us to go there. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a lot of headache. Can I not just figure it out? That's me with a camera, bro. When I picked up a camera, I didn't understand that lighting was the most important thing. Once you conquered lighting, the camera will do its own thing. You could go and spend thousands of pounds on a bad boy camera and a bad boy lens. Same with having a bad boy interface, a bad boy MacBook. But if the guy in the chair's not a bad boy engineer, you're making crap. You need to understand. You've probably done it yourself, sat down with someone in practically a wardrobe with the bare minimums, and he's a genius.
Exactly, bro.
So the camera's the same. Like before you understand the small things, that £1,000 camera's not worth nothing. It's the way it works.
If only I knew this originally, I would have saved myself a lot of money.
A lot of money, bro. I'm selling equipment now, music equipment, bro, because I don't understand it.
It's a lot, but yeah, that's how I'm a believer in, man. The specific details now, real understanding, or at least recognizing when you haven't got the real understanding, so you can engage with the person that has. A lot of people benefit in that way. You don't have to go the long way around, but just understanding that it's not going well for me because I've not got enough understanding, and I'm not connected to anyone with enough understanding. So I'm a bit lost out here in the ignorance. And then you've got two options. Like I say, you can learn yourself, or you can go and find the people that know. But books taught me this. And then anytime I try to do something now, do it with detail, starting with Asante, she's the only person I've applied this to, apply it to teaching her. It works, man. It really works. You get me? It really works. So books is a big thing. I can't stress it enough. Books contributed the most to my awakening, more than anything, more than the food. the books
Okay.
contributed to it the most. I know that's a bit of going off the question,
Nah, but
changing
it's
the
again-
question a bit. What did the question say again? When?
How you calling nights, right?
Yeah, right.
Your
Yeah,
books,
so
innit?
the book- the books
like
did
what was your at what point in it? So again, you started reading
Yeah,
the
the books
books
did
and
it,
then
but there's been a lot of different points. Yeah, my daughter, all the drama, the books. But yeah, there'll always be different points. There's never just one, in my opinion.
Episode 1, the books. I like
the
it.
books.
Sort of, I like
The
that.
books, it's the books. The books is where it's at. Believe me, it sounds mad. It's old school. People don't read books no more. But the books, and do you know what I had to do? This is giving away my biggest key to everything. I started to learn words every single day, learn different words, and then I started to make my own dictionary and structure them into, instead of alphabetical order, I was putting them in groups of meaning.
Right,
I'm
okay.
revealing my biggest. This is the thing that's changed my life the most. Not spiritually enlightened me, but equipped me and made me equipped to learn. That was the game changer.